Hi guys, I'm New. The anime recap I'm going to share today is Mega Mirai no Ryubokuin.
The teenage boy living on the street is chosen by fate to become the dormitory administrator and grow up with the 5 goddesses.
Goddess Minoru likes to make mysterious potions,
which can be called the female version of Breaking Bad.
Goddess Flay loves cosplay and her favorite thing to do is to change people's clothes. Goddess Korea is a hot-blooded martial artist. She loves to read shoujo manga and often gets shy because of the love plots in it.
Goddess Serene is a mysterious goddess of the moon who can absorb the power of the moon to accomplish the impossible.
Goddess Athena is gentle and beautiful and has a wonderful relationship with the protagonist.
The protagonist also has a tsundere childhood sweetheart called Sutia.
How will he choose between the goddesses and the childhood sweetheart? Let's watch the blissful life of the protagonist together.
The story starts with a homeless teenager called Koshi.
He is starving on the street, and a girl called Minoru takes him home, provides him with food, and arranges for him to go to the bath first to relax. Embarrassed, when Koshi goes to the bathroom, he sees 3 girls. Koshi quickly runs out, only to bump into Athena, a girl who has just returned home. This place turns out to be the goddess dormitory of a women's university, shared by 5 girls: Kiriya, Flay, Serene, Minoru, and Athena.
After learning that Koshi has no place to live, Minoru takes the initiative to invite Koshi to be the dorm mother. The other girls have no objections,
but Athena firmly opposes it.
Minoru explains to Koshi that Athena is a special girl who faints with nosebleeds when she touches a boy.
Koshi doesn't want to make it hard for Athena and tells Athena that he can leave. Afterward, Athena feels guilty,
especially after seeing that Koshi can only sleep on a park bench. She immediately carries Koshi back to the dormitory. Athena faints with nosebleeds from touching Koshi, but at least both of them make it to the goddess dormitory safely.
In this way, Koshi becomes the dorm mother, responsible for cleaning the entire dormitory, including the goddess room.
As a researcher, Minoru usually dresses casually in the dormitory, which makes Koshi feel awkward and has to leave quickly.
Later, he is caught by Flay in the room and is dressed as a cat lady.
He learns that Flay is a cosplay enthusiast who not only likes to roleplay herself, but also loves to get others dressed up. And now Koshi has to help Flay measure her figure.
Before Koshi could finish his work, Minoru suddenly drags them out. It turns out that Minoru's experiment fails, resulting in toxic gases in the dormitory. According to Flay, people have long been used to this kind of thing. Koshi is angry that goddesses don't feel guilty about bothering others, but after scolding Minoru and Flay,
he regrets it and flees into the street. Before Koshi could change out of his cat lady's costume,
people are taking pictures of him. After this incident,
Koshi takes advantage of the cold weather to send blankets to goddesses and takes the initiative to reconcile with Minoru and Flay, saying that he just wants to do his best as the dorm mother. Minoru and Flay understand Koshi very well and thank him for his dedication to the dormitory and hug him tightly.
Athena, who has just returned, can't help but spew nosebleeds again when she sees this scene. Later, Athena declares to the others that since there is a boy in the dormitory, everyone's dress code should be more standardized. From today, she will serve as an inspector. At night, Koshi is sleeping when he hears vibrations coming from upstairs. In the next second,
Kiriya falls straight from the ceiling. Kiriya is a judoist and loves to read the shoujo manga. Whenever she sees a romantic plot, she can't control her emotions because of her shyness and punches around. With the floor temporarily broken,
Kiriya decides to sleep with Koshi.
But Koshi reminds Kiriya of her younger brother who practices martial arts, and she can't resist having a judo competition with him.
Koshi doesn't dare to stay in the same room with Kiriya and runs to Serene's room to sleep. Strangely,
Serene walks up to Koshi and says that if Koshi is willing to make a contract with her, she could fix the floor with the power of the moon.
Koshi thought Serene is joking and agrees.
Later, Serene takes the initiative to kiss Koshi.
When Koshi wakes up, it is the next day,
and he finds that the floor has indeed been repaired. Koshi thought what happened last night was just a dream and he goes to make breakfast for the goddesses.
Everyone is very satisfied with Koshi's cooking and wants to pay Koshi back.
Seeing that Koshi has such good relationships with goddesses,
Athena is very puzzled. It just so happens that Koshi wants to go out to buy groceries for dinner,
and Athena decides to accompany Koshi to the supermarket to find out the reason for him being popular.
In order to cope with the symptoms of nosebleeds when she touches boys, Athena prepares a lot of nasal congestion so that she can complete the task. Koshi praises Athena's courage for facing the difficulties head-on,
and thanks her for picking him up before. Through these words,
Athena understands how Koshi gains the goddess's trust. Athena doesn't notice that there are 2 boys in front of her,
and because of her sexy figure,
the boys are almost on the verge of nosebleeds. Fortunately, Koshi quickly drags her back to the dormitory. This time, Athena's attitude towards Koshi has changed. She keeps asking Koshi to call her sister to satisfy her kinky desire and decides to protect Koshi from now on. Afterward, Minoru brings good news to Koshi. After she and Flay learn about Koshi's situation, they have been dealing with various complicated procedures so that Koshi can continue to go to school. On Koshi's first day at school, a girl kicks him hard and accuses Koshi of disappearing for too long. The girl, named Sutiya, is extremely fearful of heat and is Koshi's childhood sweetheart. Back in the old time, Sutiya did not want to hang out with her classmates because she was afraid of the heat. She sat alone, and only Koshi took the initiative to invite her. When Koshi learned about Sutiya's fear of heat, he went to the teacher and asked for ice to cool Sutiya down. Sutiya falls in love with Koshi for his sweetness. However, Sutiya is a tsundere person, obviously worried about Koshi, but refuses to say it directly. Koshi knows Sutiya very well and does not mind it, and especially brings a lot of refrigerant for Sutiya. Koshi accidentally reveals that he is a dorm mother at the goddess dormitory, and Sutiya, worried that Koshi is in love with someone else, decides to visit the goddess dormitory. Goddesses welcome Sutiya passionately, especially after learning that Sutiya is Koshi's childhood sweetheart. Sutiya wants to check Goddess's dormitory one by one but learns that Minoru's laboratory cannot be visited because of the gas leak. Flay is very hospitable, trying to force Sutiya to change her clothes but only to make Sutiya frightened. Only Atina's ordinary dormitory makes Sutiya feel at ease, but the occasional compliments from Koshi to Atina make Sutiya jealous. As for Kiriya, she fails to make a good impression on Sutiya because she feeds her expired cookies. Sensing Sutiya's dissatisfaction, Minoru proposes to let her stay in the dormitory at night to feel the atmosphere of the dormitory. Sutiya immediately chooses to live with Atina, who is closest to Koshi. At night, Sutiya and Atina see the embarrassing scene where Koshi and Kiriya collide in the bathroom. Sutiya can't take it anymore and leaves the dormitory. Because of this, Kiriya and Atina do not dare to talk to Koshi too much and rush to school after breakfast. But Koshi finds that they forget to bring lunch. He is worried that the two would get hungry when they come back late today. With Flay's help, he changes into women's clothes and goes to a women's college to deliver food. He ends up attracting the attention of many students. Finally, Koshi successfully delivers lunch to Kiriya and Atina. That night, Atina proposes that they go on a trip together and asks Koshi to take Sutiya with them, so that they can improve their relationship with Sutiya through this opportunity. Serene runs back to her room as soon as she hears about the travel plans. When Koshi goes to check on her, Serene falls from the trash heap. According to Serene, she needs to absorb the power of the moon to grow, and the trash is her tool to absorb energy. This means that Serene did help repair the floor that night. Since Serene cannot get the power of the moon outside, she usually spends her time in dorm and university, where the power of the moon is abundant. Therefore, everyone decides to help Serene make a tool that can absorb energy. Flay gives Serene a Sailor Moon suit, hoping to help Serene. Unfortunately, ordinary people cannot do cosplay in public without permission. Minoru concocts a mysterious potion that stimulates energy, allowing Flay to fully unleash her desires. Kiriya tries to take Serene to practice Tai Chi to absorb energy, but it doesn't work. At the critical moment, Atina sends an umbrella painted with the moon and stars, and finally solves the problem. On Koshi's side, he tells Sutiya about the trip, which instantly alerts Sutiya, and to monitor Koshi, Sutiya decides to go with them. After a while, everyone embarks on a vacation trip to the sea. Since Atina has booked the wrong hotel, everyone can only stroll around the mountain first. The ancestral hall on the mountain emits strange energy, which frightens Kiriya into Koshi's arms. Seeing the scene, Sutiya gets so angry that she keeps hitting Koshi. During the night, Koshi and Minoru both notice Atina sneaking out of the room and go out together to check, only to get separated. Later, Koshi finds Atina, who comes to the toilet alone. To make matters worse, a girl with an umbrella suddenly appears, scaring them into hiding in a side room. Atina has feelings for Koshi that cannot be described in words, but now they are in the same room and she almost breaks out. Just then, Minoru's appearance interrupts them, and Koshi realizes that the girl with an umbrella was just Serene. After a false alarm, goddesses go to the seaside to play, while Koshi observes goddesses with a telescope on the beach, performing his dorm mother duty. Koshi doesn't expect Sutiya is attacked by fish and drowned. He has to ask Kiriya to save Sutiya since he can't swim at all. When everyone learns of this, they praise Koshi's bravery. After hearing Atina's compliment, Koshi recalls the event of last night and hurries off the beach on the ground of buying a drink. Kiriya and Sutiya also take the opportunity to mend their relationship, and Sutiya also takes the initiative to reveal a secret. It turns out that Koshi's first love was a kindergarten teacher, so Sutiya especially remains the same hairstyle as the kindergarten teacher.
Flay on the side gets a little excited when she hears the news and the heat around her makes Sudia faint. Atina sees the situation and hurriedly goes to the supermarket to buy some ice. At this time, two men try to forcibly take Atina away. Luckily, Koshi arrives in time to stop them. When they return to the beach, Atina thanks Koshi for giving her a family-like feeling to make her feel safe. Instead of showing joy, Koshi looks strange, and his state stays the same even after the trip. Minoru and Flay soon notice Koshi's strange behavior and decide to help Koshi. Flay takes Koshi to the cosplay club and constantly interrogates Koshi during the cosplay. Under her pressure, Koshi finally tells the truth. However, he does not give Atina's name. Seeing that Koshi doesn't know how to deal with feelings that cannot be described in words, Flay encourages him to face the reality and figure out what he really thinks. In the end, with Flay's help, Koshi succeeds in clearing the doubts in his mind. A few days later, Koshi and Sutia arrive at the Women's University's Gakuen Festival, and Flay, the administrator, takes them to Minoru's shop. Minoru dresses up as a witch and prepares to sell the potion she has made. Soon the administrator discovers that Minoru does not have a license, and Minoru has to take Koshi and Sutia to escape. Flay then takes Koshi and Sudia to hunt Serene. Unexpectedly, because Minoru drops the medicine bottle while escaping, the students' desires are activated by the potion, causing chaos. At the critical moment, Serene unleashes the power of the moon to clear the effect of the potion and helps everyone return to normal. Serene exhausts her strength and Koshi takes her to rest. Serene claims that she needs a kiss to refuel and is about to kiss Koshi. Flay comes with food so that Koshi doesn't have to be kissed. Finally, the three visit Atina's maid's cafe. Everyone is happy to see Atina work hard to overcome her fear of boys. Flay sees that Sudia is interested in the maid costume, and immediately dresses Sudia up and asks Atina to take a break and walk around the campus with Koshi. They first go to the watch menswear competition together. Korea has countless fans as the previous champion and judge, and even Atina is attracted to Korea. At this time, Koshi accidentally drinks a potion made by Minoru out of thirst that reveals his nature. He is worried that he would expose his childish nature, and he doesn't know what to do for a while. At this time, Korea mentions she receives 3 maze tickets as a reward for being the judge. Koshi uses the effect of the potion to indicate that he wants to go to the maze. Korea and Atina, knowing that he rarely speaks his real thoughts, take Koshi to the maze. After leaving the maze, they join Minoru. When Koshi learns that the bottle actually contains water, he is extremely embarrassed to expose his nature in front of everyone. At this moment, Sudia in the coffee shop is inspired to have a special fetish and has a lot of fun. Soon after the joyful school festival, Christmas comes, and Korea receives the task of returning to the dojo alone this year to run the Christmas event there. Thankfully, Koshi and Atina offer to help. According to the plan, they are going to shop for gifts the next morning, but while cleaning the room, Koshi accidentally bumps into Atina after taking a shower, causing Atina to have a nosebleed, and Korea has to go to the mall with Koshi. The two have a fun time together, which gives Korea the illusion that she is dating Koshi for a while. On Christmas Day, the same thing happens again. Since Atina is unable to move, Korea has to take Serene instead and go to the dojo with her for Christmas events. After they arrive at the dojo, Koshi dresses up as a Christmas reindeer and hands out gifts to the children. When Koshi learns that one of the little girls is afraid to take the gift because she has the worst grades, Koshi says to the little girl that if she works hard, she would get the gift, and also gives her a special medal. In this way, the three spend a happy Christmas with the children. Later, Koshi also gives Korea a gift. Korea gets overwhelmed, but the appearance of Serene interrupts all this. After Christmas, as it gets colder, Minoru and Flay bring out the prepared foot warmer, and Koshi sits around to keep warm with the goddesses together. Koshi laments that he finally feels at home again. In order to enjoy the foot warmer, Korea and Atina ask Koshi to do homework on the foot warmer, and Koshi plans to ask Sudia to study together. For Sutia, who is afraid of heat, entering the foot warmer is an unacceptable thing. But for Koshi's sake, Sutia goes back to the goddess dormitory with Koshi. Strangely, there is no one in the dormitory, and Koshi is afraid to open the foot warmer, fearing that Sutia would be uncomfortable. Later, Koshi activates the foot warmer after getting Sutia's consent. Unexpectedly, under the warmth of the foot warmer, both of them fall asleep, and Sutia, who wakes up first, has an intimate interaction with Koshi. After she notices that Atina discovers the move, Sutia is embarrassed and beats Koshi. Soon, the other goddesses return to the dormitory one after another, and everyone enjoys the hot pot together. The next day, Atina is knitting gloves for Koshi in her room, while Koshi is busy cleaning Flay's room. Suddenly there is a loud noise in Serene's room. Atina and Koshi hear the sound and decide to go inside to check it out. They have to look outside because they can't open the door, and Koshi just happens to see Serene escaping through the window. He has to catch Serene with his body.
When Serene returns to her room, she still won't let anyone else in.
They have no choice but to continue tidying up Flay's room.
At this time, Sudia also helps tidy up the room. Koshi looks at the cosplay costume on the floor and can't help but recall his experience of being dressed up by Flay. The interactions between Koshi and the goddesses make Sudia jealous. After tidying up Flay's room, they head to Minoru's lab. The lab is clean and even sanitized, which doesn't need to be cleaned up at all. Now only Serene's room has not been cleaned up. Athena tempts Serene with a snack before finally opening her door. As a result, apart from a large pile of garbage, there are also New Year's gifts for others in her room. Minoru is surprised and takes Athena and Serene to drink together. When Koshi and Sudia finish cleaning up Serene's room, the drunken three fall on Koshi. Sudia freaks out again after seeing the scene. In the blink of an eye, the new year is approaching, and the goddesses are staying in the dormitory for various reasons, which makes Koshi very happy. He always thought he is going to celebrate the new year alone. For the celebration, Koshi is ready to go out to buy some supplies. Athena can't accompany Koshi because her knitting gloves are not finished yet. She can only watch Korea go out with Koshi. While shopping, Koshi suddenly faints and frightens Korea. Koshi has a fever due to a cold, and the goddesses decide to let Koshi rest well and help him recover. Sudia also rushes to the dormitory when she hears the news. Concerned about Koshi's situation, she takes the initiative to check Koshi's temperature, but because Koshi's body temperature is too high, she faints right away. Minoru and Athena have to take Sudia aside to rest. Unexpectedly, Flay has already laid down next to Koshi and wants to take good care of Koshi. Korea then brings a glass of juice that looks terrible. Athena accidentally has intimate interaction with Koshi to stop Koshi from drinking the glass of juice, and then she blacks out of bleeding too much. After that, except for Athena and Sutia, who pass out and need to rest, the other goddesses take care of the household. Koshi sweats too much because of a nightmare and wants to take a shower. Korea is responsible for the laundry, but she can't help but secretly smell Koshi's clothes, and as a result, she gets too excited and tears Koshi's clothes a lot shorter, causing Koshi to only wear short sleeves and shorts after the shower. Koshi doesn't want Korea to feel guilty about this, so he lies that he is feeling okay. In fact, on such a cold day, Koshi is frozen. Meanwhile, Athena is cooking a bowl of porridge for Koshi, and Minoru brings out a potion she has made to let Koshi drink. Surely, Athena disagrees and grabs the bottle from Minoru. As Koshi passes by the kitchen, the bottle falls to the ground and explodes, making Koshi's condition worse. Feeling bad, Athena takes care of Koshi all by herself. Sudia thinks that staying in the dormitory will not help and leaves. Athena tries hard to look after Koshi while recalling the happy times she has shared with Koshi. Apparently, this is a common routine in anime, and in the end, thanks to Athena's determination to look after Koshi, he gets recovered. On New Year's Day, Athena presents Koshi with her hand-knitted gloves, and everyone else arrives at the door, ready to go with Koshi to buy food for New Year's Eve. This is the end of the season. After watching Mega Mirayo no Ryubokuin, I believe that every goddess in the anime has given a deep impression on the audience. Athena has a gentle personality and is like an advice columnist. Flay can switch different looks at any time to meet the excitement. Korea is a person who behaves crudely but has a shy personality. As for Serene, I think she's a little girl who loves snacks. If you are given a chance, which goddess would you like the best to spend time with? Welcome to leave your thoughts in the comment area. And don't forget to give me a like and subscribe to my channel. Your support means a lot to me to keep updating. Bye.